Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division in the South Coast Tournament. Video here sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, so let's go! Before I take my first shot, check down in the video description down below, and then you will be able to find a link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, where you can get updated text guides for this tournament, but also for future tournaments as well. Also, timestamps, so if you don't want to watch hole number 1, you maybe just want to watch a specific hole, then press on the time that is like not highlighted, but it's a hyperlink, and then you will get directly to that hole here in the video. So, hole number 1, par 4, and here we're gonna go for the right side. Even though we have a very strong crosswind right to left, we do need to try at least. And the club that you wanna play with is an Apocalypse. Playing with a Thor's Hammer or with an Extra level 8 needs a slice, otherwise you will not be having enough curl to bounce yourself down there to the right. So I'm going to go with the regular approach here, and I'm going to, in future streams and also most likely in future videos, show you the slice that I'm talking about. And I'm going to play with a blue ring by the rough there to the right in max distance. And then we're going to adjust it for one-on-one with Apocalypse level 7. So 20% extra from max distance. So 10.7 rings. And once we're done with that, we're gonna pull up our target into max distance, or like max position. And then we go max curl. And then we're gonna go with around 25 to 50% curl. And the thing that we do want to do is to bounce as far as possible down here. And you know, I would love to get to a spot where it would be around 425 yards of distance. So 422, that's good, I will take it. And you can see here, like, I'm using a little amount of overpower due to I'm having an Apocalypse level 7. So of course, if you have an Apocalypse level 6, 5, 4, then you will have to go with more overpower because you have less topspin. So that is something that you will need to have in mind. From this position now, where we are at, we're gonna have a short iron. So either you play with a Hornet or you play with a Thorn, and it's going to nonetheless be a very good situation, or a very big possibility for you to get this ball in the hole. And I would say, like, when coming to the weekend round, I do believe this hole is going to be a must eagle. And I'm not saying that to be overly aggressive, but the par 4s is definitely going to be the holes that we're gonna earn something extra, because the par 3s, par 5s is going to be super tough. So from this position here, I'm going to play 20% extra and medium numbers. And you can see here now, like, there is a possibility to go and dunk it, but I don't think that's going to be the case here with 11.2 in wind, especially not when we'll have to play it with so many rings. Like always, when we do adjust more than 3 or 4 rings when it comes to a dunk, it's going to be super tough. So I'm aiming straight at the hole here, and then we're going to adjust our shot. As I said, I'm going to play 30% extra medium numbers, which is going to give me 5.8 rings here. Hit it perfect. Will it come in? No! Because do you know what I did? I played it 20%. And that's the difference. That makes all the difference in the world. So it's the arrow ball, could also be a turkey ball. And I'm going to show you the spot that you do want to play. I'm going to play with the red ring just before the rough there, with the ball guideline straight through the hole here. I do also want you to be a little bit to the left of the pin, like half a square to the left of the pin, so you don't have to go with any curl. And then when we do adjust, we're going to adjust in between medium and maximum distance. And then once we do in the end, we're gonna take half a ring and push it up towards the pin to give ourselves that extra distance due to dropping down there in the sand. Coming in very nicely here, get a little bit extra roll there, but you know, hitting the pin there might gonna be in the hole there. But we do need to over adjust a little bit to the side. You that play with a Kingmaker maybe wonder, like, okay, with a Kingmaker, what to do here now? Then we're gonna play the same way. I would go with more side spin though. I would go with 3, 4 side spin to the left, put my target a little bit more to the right. but I will also not be using backspin. The only reason I'm using backspin is that the wind is around 7-8 miles per hour with a wind 5 ball. With a Kingmaker we're gonna be having all from 10 to 12 miles per hour. So therefore we need to take away the backspin altogether. So because with backspin, with a more compressed ball guideline, we're gonna bounce either in the rough or in the sand. Tough par 3 for sure, and the adjustment, as I said, in between medium and maximum distance with a 30% over adjustment. Hole number 3, par 5. And you know, I played this one the first day in the qualifier on the left side here, but I've changed my mind and I'm going to play it on the right side. I do believe I found a very good reference for the drive to the right. And it's going to be super helpful when it comes to going for the albatross, as the bunker will not be in play in any form when we do have an open shot towards the pin. This is going to be a possible albatross in my opinion. We will see a couple of albatrosses here, but once again, you know, once you do have to roll your ball pretty far to get the ball towards the pin, that's going to be tough. And I also want you to play with a power 4 ball if you have one to spare. But I'm going to show you in this example that you can play it with a power 3 ball like equally good. The only thing is, if you do go short with a power 3 ball, we're gonna have a problem to go like without having to use a lot of topspin. You can see here with the drive here, I'm going to put myself with a blue ring by the rough there to the right. And you can see in the plus 11 yard mark. That's a good reference to go. And then we're going to play it not 20%, we're going to play it 10% when we're playing it on the right side. Which is going to give me 10.6 rings. Max curl to the left. Now, I did hit a great right, but that is, you know, something that I do count for. Great right, great left will be okay nonetheless here. With a perfect shot, we would be a little bit more in the center, a little bit more distance, but this is going to be fine. It's something that we can work with for sure. For sure. I don't know my voice. I don't know what happened. So, and now we're gonna have a long one towards the green, and we do want to play with a sniper if we could choose, but the problem is with a sniper there is that we, with a power 3 ball especially, we will be having a hard time to reach with that one there. So the thing that I do want to do is to play with a Cataclysm here, give myself room for distance so I don't have to overpower my shot as a worst case scenario. Good shot from our opponent to even getting that ball to green from that position, and it's going to be an easy eagle to get with. And that's the thing that we're looking for. We're looking for a way that we do get an easy eagle, and then of course in the end the albatross is a huge bonus. Now, with a Cataclysm level 6, it's definitely give me distance, but I don't really like and have a hard time to read the ball guy line here. So you can see here the tip of the ball guy is at the fringe, and I'm using a couple of bars of side spin to the left with 2 bars of top spin, and that's definitely going to be something to change. And in this case, I'm going to hit great right, and I'm going to miss completely to the right for this one here. But the trick is kind of the same here. We need to use topspin, so in that case can stay away from the overpower that I'm using here. Problem for my end here is that I misread this one completely with overpower, and therefore I'm just gonna have to be okay with getting this ball to the green and then put it in for an eagle here. And that's not the worst in the world, but of course we need to make a better approach shot. So, hole number 4. Here we're gonna go for the sand bump, which is something that I'm gonna suggest here. I'm going to play this one 6 bars topspin with the Thor's hammer, level 5, level 6. And you can see here I'm aiming approximately 1 square to the right of the pin. And I want us to go with a little bit more. Even though I'm using 2.5 bar side spin, we do want to use around 2 squares to the pin to the right to be able to get this ball to roll in the way that we want to. We do want also to make the necessary adjustments so we see the ball gun line going past the pin, because otherwise we're gonna go short, because the sand is going to be thick and it's going to be tough. We can see we're rolling and we're coming in here. We're coming in nicely. We've been missing with approximately 1 square, or like 3/4 of a square, and go a little bit short. The reason we go a little bit short is that I'm a little bit short in the bunker as well. So have that in mind when you do adjust. And yes, even though it doesn't make sense, but we will have to adjust it in that way, and I'm gonna be good. Okay, I almost forgot to talk about the adjustment. I'm playing it 30% downhill, in between medium and maximum distance. That's what I do play for this hole. And even though it looks very, very scary, but great left, great right has been working for me in the way that I've been hitting the sand and it has been rolling out. And but of course it's not gonna be a way for us if we do not miss, if we're not like adjusting the shot completely wrong, then we're not gonna get it in the hole with a great shot, of course. So great left, great right, and it's gonna be good. So okay, now this is a special one, to be honest. I thought this was a recording from the tournament, but it's not. This is from Tour 12, but with tailwind. And we're gonna have almost the same type of wind for the drive, but exactly the same wind for the second shot. So it's so therefore I'm gonna take ourselves through this one. And I can add that in the end why I really missed that one. Just a pure mistake. But the thing that we want to do here, in my opinion, is that we do want to get the ball as close down the fairway as possible, or as far down the fairway as possible, without getting any problems when it comes to getting into the rough or into the sand like our opponent is doing there. So my turn, I'm going to use a lot of topspin here, but I do want you to reduce some topspin here. So we do want to reduce, we do want to play it with 6.5 bar topspin instead of going with max. As much side spin to the left possible, aiming exactly as I'm using the landing position here. So even though the wind arrow is pointing slightly towards the right here with tailwind, we're gonna have basically straight tailwind ones, or straight tailwind with a little bit push to the right in the tournament here. Adjusting for maximum distance with no over or under adjustment. We're just gonna let it be. And then I'm going to go with a click or curl, exactly what I would have done with the wind in tournament as well. Hit it great, and it's going to drive itself down there very nicely. And once again, I use a lot of topspin here. I would like you to use a little bit less, because sometimes we do get a longer roll, and that's gonna be tough. I also do think that if you do have some power 4 balls, a power 4 ball would be good to play with to give yourself the distance for the second shot. For now, the second shot, we're going to have the wind that we're actually having in the tournament. I think this was the thing that fooled me, because I was looking for the second shot once shaking through all the recordings that I saved, because the rest I deleted. No! So, for the second shot, I'm not going to add or subtract anything. Even though it looks uphill, I'm not going to play it uphill. I'm going to play it as it is, and get myself close to the green, or at least as close as I possibly can. You can see I'm having a Cataclysm level 7, going to use max topspin here, and that I would have done with whatever wood club I have. Now I have a lot of topspin here, which would be in many cases not making me required to use any overpower. But in this case, we do need to use a little bit of overpower. We still have some we still have some distance to cover. And that's the same if you're having Apocalypse level 6, sorry, Cataclysm level 6, you maybe have a Cat 5, or in some worst case scenarios, Cat 4 or a Big Dog level 8. Then you will have to go with overpower. You will not be able to reach otherwise. Something that I also want to mention, that there is a slice shot here for the drive. I do personally feel that that one is risky as a curse word. So the thing that I do think that, of course, if you do love hook and slice, you know, and you feel confident with that, then you should try to find that. But I would not suggest that, because it will, in some cases, will put you into the water or into the rough or into the sand, which is going to be tough, because the end result is not going to be that much better than the first drive, in my opinion, anyway. At least not for the chance for Albatross. Now, look at this shot. I stretch out my target, yellow ring, just in the bunker with a 12 mile per hour wind. As much, sorry, with I'm using 6 to 7 bars topspin, with 3 bars of side spin to the left to counteract the slice. The kick we're gonna get to the right, we need to slow that one down using the when we're using the slice. So I'm putting my target inside the bunker. I stretch it out into overpower, let the yellow ring be in the center of the bunker. And then I'm gonna go full slice mode, getting it over there. Then you maybe wonder, can't you go and play that shot even with a regular curl shot? Yes, you can. But I don't like that if we're going to adjust properly down for our rings, then we're gonna adjust down from the cliff, which is going to change the trajectory of our ball, which is going to be completely messed up in some cases, and gonna make us go very short as we go from a higher to a lower point. So the slice here basically takes away that risk, so and therefore I think the slice is going to be better. So now for the second shot, we are in thorn, or like short iron minimum distance, which is an excellent position. And this position here, as you can see, we are with Endbringer, we are in minimum position. And now you might think like, okay, let's go dunk. But no, I'm not gonna do that, not with straight headwind. I don't really feel confident on going with that. So I'm going to find a way where the ball guideline is going to be perfectly aligned with the wind and always through the hole, no matter really how much I adjust. So in worst case scenario, I'm gonna come in a little bit hot. The ball guideline a little bit through the hole, which because it's uphill. So now we're gonna give ourselves the rings. Look at the ball guideline now, how little it changes going outside the cup. It's just a little bit there to the left. So I'm playing this one minimum distance with a 20% under adjustment, and we're coming in very, very nicely. Take the pin and get it in the hole. Boom. Hole 6, in my opinion, is going to be a must eagle. Sure, the drives wrestled could be a little bit bad. And the thing that I meant with that is sometimes we do get the ball to roll massively once getting over to the other piece of fairway and gonna roll into the rough, but still with a straight headwind, still a possible one to make with a rough iron shot. So I do believe that's definitely going to be a must eagle when it comes further down into the tournament. So our opponent plays with a quarterback here using backspin, going towards the pin, and this one is going to be a nice one, coming in a little bit hot though. And so even though it's a nice speed there, I'm not sure that that ball would have stopped. Maybe if it hits the pin, of course, but it's also downhill after that one. And you know, this spot is tougher than we think, because if we do miss this perfect, we're most likely not gonna get that putt in the hole. So I'm going to, in this example, play the same type of way, but just tweaked a little bit. Power 1 ball, side spin 2, and wind resistance 5. Using the blue ring just being before the +1 yard mark. And the thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to adjust 1 on 1 plus 1. So I'm going to adjust it for 8.5 plus 1. I will take the wind plus 1, which is 9.5. And then we're going to try to hit this ball perfect. But we hit it great! No! And you know, but great left, still gonna work. And you can see here that we're coming in very nicely. And gets it very, very close. And the reason we get it so a little bit too much to the right is due to the fact that we hit the fairway more to the left. Because it slopes more to the right, or more down from left to right, the more left we're coming up there. So make sure you hit the ball perfect. That shot has worked with great left, great right, and perfect. Even though it looks super scary towards the bunker there. Now, this is the second try, and here I'm going to play with a Kingmaker, because I don't want to just leave you hanging there with a Wind 5 ball, which there will be people that are not playing with that. So I'm using a Kingmaker here in this example, going to show you a line that I do believe is going to be a good line, and a line that might need a little bit less backspin though, but we are going to be straight at the pin in this example. The rocket shot here is not bad. I like how this one comes in here. A little bit too hot though, but still possibility. So if you're gonna play the way that I showed you with a Kingmaker there, or maybe a little bit further ahead, then we need to use the rocket instead of a quarterback, as we do need more backspin if that's gonna be. So quarterback minimum distance at 30% over adjustment, which is going to give me, in this case, I'm going to use 5 bars side spin to the right, 4 bars backspin. Aiming straight at the pin, at least that's the plan, with the white ring falling down into the sand on top. I promise. Then we're gonna adjust this one for 11.5 rings. So 1-on-1 minus half a ring. No, 12.5, sorry. 1-on-1 plus half a ring, of course. My bad, my bad. So 12.5 rings for a minimum distance there. Coming in here, bouncing nicely. You can see we have a very, very nice line here, but going a little bit short. So the thing that I would say, like, add 1 bar side spin to the right, using 3 bars backspin or 3.5 bar backspin instead, and we're gonna be good. Hole number 8, 6 bars top spin, and a couple of bars side spin to the right. Using, as you can see, the tip of the ball guide should be straight down the middle, like the second bounce approximately 1/4 or 1/3 inside on the other fairway. I promise I can. And then we're going to adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, which is going to be 11.1 rings. And then we hit it perfect. You can use a slight counter curl to the right if you want to, but I like to use the side spin instead, and therefore I'm not gonna have to use curl. 335, that's a good spot. So our opponent's going to play, as you can see, is going to be the same type of shot with a Kingmaker as well. There you will be able to see players playing with like more wind resistance ball, you know, a Centurion with power 3, wind resistance 4, or maybe even like a Turkey ball, which had wind resistance 2 and wind resistance 5 and power 2. I'm gonna leave that up to you. I want to show you here with a Kingmaker what we can do, and that we should be able to do well. From 335, I'm going to play this one with 2 bars backspin. 2 bars backspin, going up, aiming directly at the hole, and then I'm gonna play this one 1-on-1. So 11.3 rings for 11.3 miles per hour. So I'm gonna adjust that, you know, aiming straight at the pin, and the reason I'm doing that is to try to get myself away from the fact that I will have to put 1 square right or 1 square left to compensate for the wind there. We hit it perfect here. I'm gonna come in very nicely here. Get in the hole! Oh, so close! Oh my god, it was super close. That was unfortunate though, but hole 8, as for hole number 1 and hole 6 and hole 8, all the par 4s are, in my opinion, possible eagle holes. Now, hole number 9, we have a tailwind, so there will be people slicing this shot massively, playing overpowered balls with berserker globes, and you name it. So I decided in the end, okay, let's wait. I'm going to play with a regular Kingmaker, trying to stay away from using overpower, just making myself down there on the left, giving myself in a position so I can do a rough bump. So, and yes, conservative, but I want to show you that way as well, so you don't steer yourself blind on the tailwind, that you do need a slice to get that ball to the green in some form. And you know, there has been a lot of tries already amongst some of the very best clans out there. I would say that some of the clans that do are very good with shot sharing. There isn't a video out there yet where someone is reaching to the green, but sure, there has been people reaching down to being close in the rough, having around mid distance rough iron. So once again, there is a lot of opportunities here, but I'm gonna talk you through this one now and stop talking about the rest. So, downhill 20%, super important. You can see I'm used a smidge of overpower from max position with a Kingmaker, which in that case would tell me that, you know, we could stay away from overpower if we wanted to. I used a lot of curl as well, due to the fact that of course we have a wind right to left a little bit, but also the fairway that we bounce to bounce towards, that one slopes a little bit to the left there, especially in the middle part of it, so it's very easy to get into the rough there, and if you do that, you can say bye-bye, reaching the green in 2. So the only way for you to, if so, reach the green in 2 from the rough, from the left side, is to be on the right side of the rough. But now we are in the fairway, and from this distance here, it's going to be a possible rough bump. You see how far I am here now. And it's going to be, in this case, you can see max distance. We have minimum distance just right there. So I'm going to do like this. Instead of trying to play it like in between in some form, I'm playing it minimum distance. And with the ball guide line pointing to the hole and not going through the hole, as we do still have a little bit of ball guide line left on the club here. So ball guide line to the hole. You can see half of the blue ring outside also on the fairway there as a reference. And adjusting for 7 rings, which is minimum distance with Cataclysm level 7. Unfortunately, I will hit this ball great. But I do strongly believe that with a perfect shot, this ball would most likely be in the hole, or at least super close. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Master. I tried to use Kingmakers in all of the holes here, combined with having one special ball on hole number 2. The reason I want to be focused more on the Kingmaker area is because I do want you to feel that you can actually compete in Master even only using Kingmakers. So if you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video, take your time, hit thumbs up before you go. Once again, the video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the South Coast Tournament.